Hello everybody, this is Nicola123 here, and I welcome you to this new video for the new audition set 1 of Undertale Life on the Surface. This is going to be centrally focused in the humans from my AU Monster Tale. Now again, that still needs a name change, so if anyone has any suggestions, let me know. And right now I'm going to go through all of the characters and what they are. What monsters they are, or what monster they've become after they've died and after everyone came to the surface, which is basically what Life on the Surface is all covering, is basically what happens after the monsters hit the surface. What problems will they face? Will they be facing supernatural problems, or will they not be facing supernatural problems? So, here we go in a couple of seconds. Okay, so each human soul has a different monster that they're going to be, and these are all the dead human souls from the past. Kara is obviously a demon because that's what everyone goes with. Tiffany is the soul of patience, and she's a Neko. Nathan is the soul of bravery, and he's a Minotaur. Spice is the soul of integrity, and she's a fairy of fire and ice. Arthur is a griffin, and he represents perseverance. Sylvia is a dragon, and she represents kindness. And Rowan is a werewolf, and he represents justice. Now, the list below kind of cover what each character, what team they're going to be on, so to speak. Now, in terms of teams, I'm going with that whole idea because the first major battle of the series is going to be against Frisk against Kara and all that neat rot. So that is why I have gone with the way I've gone with this, or what I've gone with the setup of the teams and stuff like that. So, yeah, you'll notice each of them, again, has a monster that I think correlates really well with the soul. And again, if you think I should change the name of the AU, let me know. But, anyway, so that basically covers what all the human souls are and what they've become. I am going to be doing fan art for this. If you want to redraw it, you can look at my DeviantArt page, Sally Knight 22. So now we're going to start covering the auditions and what each character's like, how I would describe them, and so on. And we'll focus on each individual ones. I'll give you all the lines that you'll need for this first audition set at the very end of the video, along with some other information. So, here goes nothing. So first character I'm going to cover is Kara. And now Kara is obviously the demon child. And although that picture that just is going to pop up second is a picture of Frisk, I'm using that for Kara because Kara is the soul of determination. Kara, as we all know, shows up at the very end of the game whenever you are or have chosen the genocide route. And the story with Kara in this storyline obviously is going to follow the storyline of the original. She's gonna be very cruel to begin with, and eventually she's gonna grow to be a nicer, warmer, calmer character, but she's still gonna have those snarky remarks and kind of act like a jerk. So I need someone who's willing to kind of be like tsundere, I guess. If you know what Japanese terms that means she's a tough girl, but she has a softer side. And that she will have a personality very, like, not very cool or calm or whatever, and if her friends are hurt when I make her have more friends later on in the series, she's gonna be very cruel about it and be really nasty. I'm looking for someone who can play like a very sweet, kind of gentle voice at one moment, and then the next minute, instead of being lulling into a false sense of security, it turning into a darker, more, I guess, venomous voice. Again, all the lines for this audition set will be at the very end, and all the characters will be sharing all the same lines for the audition set. Now, here's another thing about Kara. If you're going to play her and you suggest that she becomes something different after she joins Frisk and the others at the end, please let me know, and I will talk to you about that, and we'll work through it together. That's all I have to say on Kara. Moving on to the next one. Alright, now we're moving on to the soul of patience, Tiffany. Now, I'm going with the whole Vice thing because people have created Vice versions of the souls. So I'm thinking that Kara somehow, someway, has viced all these two other characters to the point where they are following her lead kinda pointlessly and not knowing why they're doing it. They're just following her, almost like a form of torture. Except they're not really being tortured. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just made them dark variations of themselves. Now, normal Tiffany is very patient, calm, generally kind towards people, and likes to give people a chance before striking or before making a stupid choice like killing somebody. Which is why she only survived to a certain point in the underground. And you guys can help me again pick out what monsters killed what humans. I'm not sure who I'm going to pair her with yet, but I figure some of the human characters turned monster will be paired with monsters within the underground. You guys can help me pick out who. So Tiffany became a Neko, so a cat girl. And in Japanese stuff, Nekos are cat girls, or the name for cat is a Neko. So that is why I went with that. But she has been viced to the point where she's not very careful at listening. Her first few lines are along the lines of, I was so patient with you guys. I gave you guys so many chances. And what happened? I got killed. So why should I give you a chance? Why should I let Frisk live? So it's that kind of thing. She's twisted them to that point. And so, long story short, that's what happened to them. However, most of the time, Tiffany will not be like this. Eventually, once we get through the first few episodes and once we get past this whole major obstacle with these characters, all of these characters will end up being very kind or very different in their own way. Tiffany is very sweet. She likes to give people a chance. She doesn't like to jump to conclusions. She likes to find all the stuff, count all her eggs before they hatch. On top of that, she really just didn't want to hurt anybody. She ended up maybe hurting one or two people in the underground trying to defend herself, but other than that, she really didn't do much else, and then ended up getting killed by whatever monster we just so happened to pick. Or I just so happened to pick. So that is Tiffany. That's all I have to say on her. Again, all the lines are at the end of the video, and you can tell me who you want to try out for at the end of the video, and then I'll give you the rules on that, and yeah, so that's Tiffany for you. Tiffany, the soul of patience. Alright, now we have Rowan, the soul of justice. His viced form is very unjust. He thinks anytime he's been hurt or whatever that they deserve to pay for it, and it's more of a vengeful spirit that I think of when I think of his viced. But he's the werewolf. I picked werewolf because I almost thought, like, justice can go either way. Justice can be like a dog. Dogs can be really nasty sometimes, and you don't think they're fair, but they are actually a lot more fair than people think. Or justice can be really sweet and really helpful to you. So, when he gets viced, he thinks that because the monsters killed him, they deserve to die. However, Rowan in reality is really sweet in his own way too. I keep saying sweet a lot. I'm sorry. But Rowan, I had to think about how to word this. Rowan is very, very smart and actually knows how to look at a situation from multiple perspectives, likes to look at things before he judges somebody, and when he finds out someone has done something wrong, he does like to find an appropriate punishment and not one that necessarily ends in bloodshed or violence. Which is why when he used his guns in the underground, why I would envision when he used his guns in the underground, he would only shoot somebody if they struck at him first. He liked to give people a chance, a lot like Tiffany. However, he was a little less patient with it and just instantly went to, okay, you hit me, I get to hit you type thing. So in a lot of ways, he's got an impatience problem, and he's very, I guess, a little bit wild-spirited. And a lot of people draw him with a cowboy hat and with his pistols and everything. So I'm going with him for the idea of him. I'm thinking he's more of a Western child. So anyone who does audition for him should at least try to do a Western accent. If they don't want to, give it your best shot without one. But that's all I can say on Rowan, really. He tries to be calm with people. He doesn't try to jump ahead of himself and punish somebody or hurt somebody just 'cause. But, again, because he was viced in the very beginning, that's going to be how he acts, and then he's going to change. that's all I have to say on Rowan, the soul of justice. Alright, so now we're moving on to the characters that are not viced by Kara at all. Or if they are viced, it's only a temporary vice and they break free from it. So first we're covering Integrity, or Spice. Spice is a fairy. I went with a fairy of fire and ice because Integrity, from what I found out, is the ability to, or having integrity means that you are able to make the right decision anytime and people can trust you to make that right decision anytime they're around you. Now, Spice was the first character I came up with, and she's changed a lot in her design. As soon as I'm done drawing her and I've changed her design, I'll have that up. But Spice kind of ends up leading the group of 4 that I have written down on the second part of the thing. Because she is trustworthy. She's really kind and generous, and she likes to make sure she does the right thing. She never likes to hurt or kill anybody unless it's a complete necessity, and in fact, she actually hates fighting people and hurting people, period. So when she becomes a fairy and she changes a lot, she just sort of tries to take that in stride and tries to learn it and understand how to use it. Now, my story for her is that she died when she was about 16. And that was after she got chased into the underground, or she ran away into the underground to escape her abusive mother and father, who I plan to possibly make the secondary villains and the major villains of the first season, so to speak, of Life on the Surface. I was originally going to be voicing her, but I figured, hey, I can let someone else voice her because I want to do some Sans, Undyne, and possibly Frisk. But yeah, so I sound dumb right now. I'm sorry. Anyway, so when you meet her, she's probably one of the first people that I might have, because I'm thinking also of having these guys telling the stories throughout these 7 telling the stories throughout the first few episodes. And then just shifting it off to a normal every episode narrator. But, so when she wakes up, she's going to be the first one to question what's going on. She's going to be looking for things that are going on around her, and she's going to kind of assess her situation before making a choice, while still kind of making sure she makes the right choice. She's like, I could freak out and hurt somebody, I could do this, I could do that. And considering all the souls were in tubes when you last saw them, like they were in these clear tubes, I would think that the ghosts of them would have been able to see each other and talk to each other through the tubes. Except for Kara, those other 6 souls were basically looking at each other and talking to each other constantly. So that's what I think of, is they all kind of had a relationship beforehand. And so she kind of rounded them up and kind of was the leader while they were in the tubes, and then when they were absorbed in everything, they said goodbye to each other because I thought that was going to be the last time they saw each other. So, in a lot of ways, she's the leader, but she's also really she's not always brave, she's not always smart, and she knows it. She knows she makes the wrong decisions sometimes, but she doesn't feel proud of her decisions when she makes the wrong choices. So that is Spice for you. She's also very caring because of the fact that she was abused as a child, so she likes to make sure the others in the group are okay before herself. So that is the soul of integrity, Spice, the fairy of fire and ice. Alright, so we're on to the next non-viced soul, the soul of kindness, Sylvia, and she is going to be a dragon. Now, the reason I named her Sylvia was also because I was probably watching Wander Over Yonder at the time, and I really do think of Sylvia as a kind character, although very tough and everything else. But Sylvia, in this sense, she can be very sweet and look after her friends, and she likes to cook for people, and because I noticed that the weapon or tool in her hand was a frying pan, I thought, hey, what better than a dragon, you know? And to be honest, I think friendly dragons are not shown enough in anything. I mean, yeah, How to Train Your Dragon, but there aren't very many shows or movies that really focus on friendly dragons. But Sylvia, I would see her as getting very protective over her friends, and being ready to fight when she needs to, but really not wanting to have to unless it's a complete necessity. And I think that, and of course, she has a passion for cooking. So that's basically summing up Sylvia and why I made her the way I've made her. I see her as really sweet and kind and just patient. I guess more of a dairy until you really hurt her friends. And then she becomes much worse. And then she becomes really nasty and she will fight to protect her friends. Which isn't so kind, but, I think of kindness can be shown in numerous ways, and I think you would have to almost push it really far. So I see her as a mixture of a Fluttershy, a Bubbles, and maybe a Haru from Free, or if you don't know what Free is, and a Buttercup from Powerpuff Girls. So that covers it. That's Sylvia. Alright, so now here we go. The Soul of Bravery, Nathan. The Minotaur. Now, I went with the Minotaur because I thought, hey, boxing gloves, Minotaur, maybe even was thinking about My Little Pony at the time, but who cares? Minotaur, I went with the Minotaur thing also because strength. I think of bravery as a strength, even in weakness, and I didn't want to go with something else. I could have gone with Phoenix, but I wanted to go with something, because I can pretty much, with any of these, I'm pretty sure I can give them a humanoid type look. And have them walk on two legs. So, that's part of why I picked that. Now, Nathan is very protective of all of his friends, and he likes to stand up for the others. He doesn't like to show he's afraid a lot of times, and tends to think that if he shows his fear, that people will think less of him. So the others have to often cheer him up and let him know that that's not how they view him. They think he's cool and stuff. And Nathan is often very vexed by a lot of things, but often can be a really kind guy. And although he's very quiet when you first meet him, it's only because he wants to read you and assess you before he makes a choice on whether or not he trusts you. So that's Nathan. The Soul of Bravery, the Minotaur, whatever you want to call him. That's it. Alright, bye guys. We're going to go on to the next one. So now we're at our final soul, Arthur. The Soul of Perseverance and the Griffin. And pardon me for all my blah 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 for a few seconds. So, Arthur, because I saw he had the book and the glasses in a lot of pictures, I went with a Griffin because I thought of Arthurian legends and historians looking over things, as well as kind of it being someone who'd be really intelligent and smart and be thinking things through each time they went through something. And perseverance means keep on keeping on to the end, which is my general saying at the end of my videos. I'm not always good at this trait, but I figure for this character, he's not always good at it either, but he really does try to help his friends keep moving too. He writes encouragement out and he makes things more prideful or more helpful and kind of pushes his friends forward while pushing himself forward. He's also very smart, and I thought of him as being smart and writing down notes a lot of the times while still having encouraging words and empowering words, ones that would bring people forward and make people less afraid to be themselves and to try things and everything else. So that's how I viewed Arthur. Now, I picked a Griffin because Griffins, I don't think that dragons are unintelligent or anything, but I thought a dragon would be more for kindness and a Griffin would be more for perseverance because I feel like Griffins have to keep going. I feel like when I think of a Griffin, there's signs of nobility and what people can achieve when they keep moving forward. Now, again, I could have also gone with a Phoenix for this one too, but not so much. So that's Arthur for you. All the lines I'm gonna go over really quick in the last part of the video, and then I will cover the info at the very, very end on the last picture. Again, the update picture. So here goes. Now I'm going to read you guys the lines for this audition set, because all the characters share the same lines, and you can really take your spin on them however you want. So, the lines are, what do you think I am, a useless child? Whoa, wait, we're monsters now? Huh? You really care, Frisk? Do you think they really care? Wow, this is amazing! Why am I always alone? And question is, who are the real villains? I will be putting this also in the thing below. I'll be putting this in the... My brain's not working. I will be putting this in the description below, so you guys can read the lines yourself. Now we're going to kind of cover the rules in the next section. Okay, so here goes nothing again. Okay, now we finally hit the rules. So, the rules are for this audition set are going to be the same for every audition set. One, you will basically post a video of you auditioning for one or multiple characters. I will allow you to audition for multiple. Dear Lord. Okay, anyway. You can audition for one or multiple characters, and then you have to do it on YouTube, and you must send me the link. Now, you can send it to me through my email, oceansting@gmail.com, or you can send it to, or you can put it in the comments on any of the social media sites and any of the social media pages I post this on. Just let me know that you've auditioned and so on, and that's about it. Secondly, you have to use the lines that I have laid out. Now, again, you can alter the lines however you want. You can hit any vocal range you want. You can make them angry. You can make them happy. You can make them sad, and so on. Now, here's the other rules. For the videos, you have to tell me exactly... For the videos, you have to tell me exactly what character you're auditioning for, and whether, and what... talking. What characters you audition for, or what character you audition for, and tell me what your spin on the character is when you're doing the voice acting. Also, tell me if you want to work on this, because I am available to talking to people on my DeviantArt or on my YouTube or whatever about the possibility of working together on the Life on the Surface series. But for now, until I do all this, or get all these auditions done, I'm not going to be working on... I'm going to start working on the scripts, but I'm not going to be really working on recording anything. So that's another thing I need to mention. So, now final bit of info. Final bit of info, and I mean this quite literally. And I lost it. Oh, yes, final bit of info. When is this audition set done? Well, I'm thinking probably March 30th, 31st. So that way you guys have a whole month to work on it. If you think I need to lengthen the audition time, please let me know. I'm going to leave auditions open. Actually, yeah. I'm going to leave auditions open. I'm going to keep setting up new audition sets throughout the month, and they'll always be a day later. They'll always be a day after the end of this coming month, or so on. So, that's about it. Nicola123 out. I'm disclaiming all the art in this video, except for the notes, because I took those on my tablet. And that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see a few auditioners fairly soon. Again, Nicola123 out. Keep on keeping on, and stay determined.